Hey, I'm Adam Jusko from ProudMoney.com, and in this video we are going to review the Mercury credit card, the Mercury Mastercard. But before we do, I'm going to ask you to please subscribe to this YouTube channel if you have not already, and if you have already, I thank you for doing so. So I've had a couple requests to review the Mercury Mastercard in the past. It is difficult to review this card in sort of an intelligent way, and I will explain to you why I say that, but in order to do so, I sort of have to give you the history of this card. So the Mercury Mastercard comes from a company called Credit Shop, and Credit Shop has existed since the year 2013. It's a company in Austin, Texas, and they were doing just sort of small personal loans for a long time to people that had credit scores sort of in the low 600s. So they're kind of going along doing that business, and then all of a sudden they had a lot of financial backing behind them, but all of a sudden they jumped in and bought this huge piece of the Barclays loan portfolio. So Barclays basically decided to sell off about 700,000 credit card accounts with about $1.6 billion of balances on those accounts, and these were accounts that were probably in that same range, the low 600s up to maybe the mid 650s from what we can tell. So sort of subprime, sort of near prime things from the Barclays portfolio, and Credit Shop had obviously enough investment cash to jump in and buy these, and then all of a sudden Credit Shop was the 24th largest Visa and MasterCard issuer. So a company that was doing no credit cards all of a sudden had this huge loan portfolio, or this huge credit card portfolio that had come from Barclays. So if you were a Barclays customer who had had the Barclays Rewards MasterCard, possibly one of the Arrival cards, and if your credit score sort of fit that profile, you might have been converted to the Mercury Mastercard, which is the card that Credit Shop created partially for this reason, to go with these new Barclays cards, and then also created to go after new customers as well. So again, while the Mercury Mastercard is technically issued by First Bank and Trust of Brookings, South Dakota, it is a product of Credit Shop, which does the marketing of the card and does the terms. Now, this company, like I said, started in 2013. They actually just changed their CEO this past November of 2019. The new CEO's name is Jim Peterson, and he comes from TD Bank, where he was, I think, sort of the head of credit cards for TD Bank. If you look at the titles that people get in the banking world, it's almost impossible sometimes to understand exactly what they do. But I think he was in charge of credit cards at TD Bank, and he also worked at Chase before that. So a guy with some, big industry experience has taken over, which to me is sort of a signal that Mercury is going to be, or that Credit Shop is going to be pushing the Mercury Mastercard a little bit harder in the coming months and years. Now, I said the Barclays portfolio that they purchased seemed like it was, maybe sort of subprime, but also getting to near prime, and it feels like that's who they are continuing to go after. Some of the terminology they use is middle market to describe their customers. In some things, they have said credit challenged as well. So again, you're looking at customers who are maybe rebuilding credit, up to customers who are sort of in that fair credit, average credit range in terms of who the Mercury Mastercard is targeted to. Now, in terms of the actual offers that are out there, that is much harder to know, because this is a card that is by invitation only. So you either got converted, or if you're a potential new customer, you are being invited into the Mercury Mastercard. And those new offers might be a little different than the original offers that some of the cardholders got, because if you came from the Barclays card, if you came from their Rewards MasterCard, if you came from their, one of their Arrival travel cards, it seems from what I've been able to tell that people got sort of different offers in terms of rewards that they were going to get. It seems like they usually got fewer rewards than they were getting with Barclays, but there were still some rewards attached to those cards that had maybe something to do, at least with what the original card was, but they were switched to the Mercury Mastercard. Now, in terms of who are getting, what the offers are for new people out there, it is very hard to see. There aren't that many, data points out there of people saying that they got an invitation from the Mercury Mastercard. Now I looked on their website and they do have a cardholder agreement on there. And what I see in that cardholder agreement is high interest rates, but cards that don't have an annual fee in terms of rewards. They don't have anything, any language about that. And if you go to their site, they're not really telling you anything about their cards because it is an invitation-only card. So when I look at it, to me, I say, okay, well, this isn't a company that is sort of, a bottom feeder that is going after the people with the worst credit scores and, charging them crazy annual fees and then monthly fees and application fees and all those sorts of things. They're not in that realm as far as I can tell. They seem to be, or what kind of came to my mind when I'm looking at their terms, is something akin to the Capital One Platinum Mastercard, which is a card that, has a high interest rate, but it doesn't have an annual fee. There's not a whole lot going on with that card, but it is sort of a card that a lot of people use as they are sort of climbing the ladder toward higher credit score cards as they are building their credit score. So it feels to me like this is a card that is maybe targeting that same kind of customer. They don't want the people that have just terrible credit scores and the people that sometimes are getting hit up by First Premier and those kind of companies that really charge all kinds of crazy fees and ridiculously high interest rates. They want someone a little bit higher maybe, but once you probably get over 650 and you're getting up towards 700, you're probably maybe getting a little past where Mercury wants. So they're kind of looking for people in that low 600 to mid 600s range is what it feels like, with a decent offer as far as I can tell, but whether you're getting any rewards with that is unclear. So really that's about it. You're looking at an unsecured card that is targeting a customer that is, maybe a little bit below prime, someone that may be rebuilding, not great terms probably for most people from the Mercury Mastercard, but not a card that is a bottom feeder. And you have a company that is somewhat established. They obviously had enough money behind them to buy this, huge Barclays portfolio that Barclays was selling off. So they are now sort of a player in this credit card industry and a little bit of a player in the subprime to near prime industry. So if you get a solicitation from the Mercury Mastercard and you say, well, who is this crazy company? You can see that there is, there are some real people with real industry experience behind it. Now that doesn't necessarily mean that they are, great at customer service or that you're going to be super happy with them, but it doesn't appear like it's any sort of scam company or some, card that you should be worried about getting if the terms that you see are ones that are attractive to you based on, your credit score and what other offers you may be getting. So that is it. If you know anything more about the Mercury Mastercard, if you have been sent an offer in the mail or by email or whatever, I would love to hear about it in the comments section below. Otherwise, I thank you for watching. And as always, please go to proudmoney.com where we do credit card reviews, we talk personal finance, we talk deals, and all sorts of other fun stuff too. Thanks for watching. Bye.